Hi YouTube, it's Gareth Beaversley here again, checking out the new Note 7 from Samsung. Now, this is a curious phone because it doesn't quite have the same feature set that we expected it to have. It doesn't have really that much innovation if you compare it to the S7 and S7 Edge from early this year. But compared to the Note 5 from last year, skipping the 6 because we don't want that, we want 7s all the way through, there's quite a lot to talk about. So let's check out the new waterproof features, S Pen upgrades, and the general things that Samsung's packed in to make it the greatest phone it's ever made. So with the Samsung Galaxy Note 7, you've got a couple of things you really need to think about. The S Pen and the fact that it's got an iris scanner, because to me, those are the big innovations with this. And unfortunately, especially in the latter case, the iris scanner doesn't really work. It doesn't seem to make a lot of sense when you've got something that, yes, is a little bit more secure and can have things like a secure folder, and means that if you really want to biometrically secure your stuff, this is the phone to do it. But the amount of people that actually need that are so few because fingerprint scanners work just fine. And if you know somebody's PIN, you can get in anyway. It feels like more of a novelty than a really useful feature, so I think 2 years down the line this may be useful. Right now, Samsung's just doing it for the sake of it. You're probably thinking, why should I buy the Note 7? And the answer really lies with the S Pen, because if you wanted all the great camera, good design, waterproof features, you can get that with the Galaxy S7 Edge. But using the S Pen day to day, you do find some different bits and pieces that you actually do think are useful. One of the great things is Samsung's combined everything into one Note app. Having the Note app in one single place means you can take notes, create lists, do the things you'd expect with the S Pen and have to do it from one single click. And while it's a bit of an expensive feature, if something you use day to day, it is very useful. Other new changes like being able to create a GIF from a video, yeah, they're cool, and I like the fact that you could do that and share it with friends, but it's a little bit of a faff, it's quite fiddly. In terms of design, Samsung knows what it's doing when it's making phones. The Galaxy S7 Edge shows that, and it's taken all those clever bits and put it into the Note 7. It's got the Edge display, and yeah, it's not as curved, but it works really well because it makes that 5.7-inch QHD display, which is really sharp, by the way. It makes it very easy to use in one hand, because you'd think that having a display that big would mean a phablet that's just too unwieldy, but it's not. One of the things I really liked was the Edge shortcut, so if you want to swipe along and get to your easily most used apps, it's there. One of the things you don't expect with the Galaxy Note range, because it's a business phone, it's enterprise-led, is the fact that actually it's waterproof. And yeah, we might have got a clue from the fact that the Galaxy S7 Edge had it, but when you think about how well this is designed and how well formed it is, the fact that you can take the stylus out and still use it underwater seems incredibly powerful, and it shows exactly what nano coating can do nowadays. Samsung's always been proud of the screens on its smartphones, and with the Note 7 it's got good reason to be, because it's got literally the best screen on the market. Now that's actually from use and from objective testing as well. One of the key features though, the mobile HDR, which makes the whites whiter and the blacks blacker on the screen at the same time, doesn't really work as well. You're watching Netflix, you're getting a great experience because it's a Samsung Super AMOLED screen. I didn't find that much difference from having this mobile HDR mode. The Note 7 also takes from the Samsung Galaxy S7 and S7 Edge in terms of making a really great camera. You've got 12 megapixels, optical image stabilization. To be honest, it's precisely the same as those previous phones, which actually is a great thing because it means you've got an amazing camera, probably the best on the market right now. And with the the grunt underneath, we've got the Exynos processor or the Snapdragon. It can handle any photo really quickly, and it takes it in a really pin-sharp way. So you're snapping around, anything you take generally looks pretty good. One of the key features Samsung will tell you about the Note 7 is the battery life, and that's fair play because it actually lasts a very long time considering how big the phone is. It's got a 3,500 mAh battery, and to me it lasted quite easily through the day, even if I was using some of the really high-end features like the heart rate scanner or just using the screen all day long. It was generally pretty good. You could burn it down if you tried really hard, but you would have to really make an effort. One of the other things I really liked was the ultra power saving mode, which means you could tailor exactly what you wanted. So if you knew you're going to run out of battery, you could have just the things on that you wanted, and it means you could easily last to the end of the day, or maybe even 2 if you really pushed it. In terms of the Note 7, whether you want it for you, you have to decide what's important in a smartphone. Do you want the S Pen? Do you want that iris recognition security? If so, then you can probably handle the higher price. If not, the S7 Edge does this and does it very well too, for a lower cost. So that's the Samsung Galaxy Note 7, and I suppose the key question is it worth the price? Because it is a very high price you have to pay for all these new features. So you've got the S Pen, you've got waterproofing, the iris scanner, and you know what? They're great and they're good to have, and if those things really matter to you in terms of the security with the iris scanner bringing to the secure folder, then great, it's definitely the phone you should be checking out. But otherwise, it's basically the S7 Edge but with some fancier new features. So if you just want a phone that does all the good bits that Samsung offers, then probably go for the S7 Edge or the S7. But if you need the S Pen, if you need the enterprise functionality, if you need to be someone on the go doing something all the time, the Samsung Galaxy Note 7 is definitely the best phone Samsung's ever made. It's just whether you want to pay the price. And as ever, thank you very much for watching, thank you very much for subscribing, and please keep it locked to Tech Radar for all the best news, features and reviews of your favourite tech.